Welcome back to another episode of Five Things. And on this episode, we're doing something a little bit different, something that we all do every single day, hopefully, and something that we enjoy. I know I enjoy it. And that is talking about breakfast foods that you should make. And with me, as usual, is my lovely co host, Mr. Chatty himself, Charlie Johnston.
Hello. I am really looking forward to this list. I got to be honest with you. Aside from the fact that it's a change, it's a step in a different direction. It's not just pop culture and all that. It also, although it can be, and you'll find out a little bit about that later. But in my professional life, as Dave knows, I am a retail manager, and I watched one of my employees the other day have, and I'm not making this up, a bag of Hershey potato chips and French onion dip, and that was his breakfast.
Wow.
And I immediately thought, this needs to happen. This is critical. Some Zoomer somewhere is going to thank us in the comment section. I promise you. I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm not looking forward to it because I'm hungry. And talking about this is just going to make me more hungry.
Bro, I'm always hungry. You don't look like this if by passing up meals. I mean, come on. I'm on like dinner 3 right after this.
All right. So before we introduce our special guest today, we're going to talk a little bit about breakfast.
I am inevitable.
So what is a day of watching YouTube videos or creating them without eating breakfast? Heck, why not for dinner too? Now, speaking of dinner, dinner was the term previously used for breakfast in ancient times. And it wasn't until the 13th century that the term began to shift to breaking the fasting period from the night before, aka known as the first meal. Now, breaking the fast referred to many religious beliefs where no one could eat before morning mass. Breakfast foods like eggs, sausages, and versions of pancakes were all typical in ancient Roman times. Now, in addition to foods that we see today, fish, beer, and wine could be found on the table going all the way back to the medieval period. And it wasn't until the 15th century that the term breakfast was officially coined, though few people at that time ever really ate early in the morning. Fast forward to the industrial age, and that forced many people to begin grabbing fast or light breakfasts. Harking back to our episode in season 1, when we talked about 5 toy collections that we would buy again, advertising and public relations came into play to influence how we see breakfast today. Beech nut produced more than just baby food back in the 20s, ham being one of their main products. So what did they do? They launched a massive campaign suggesting that because the body loses energy during the night, it needs to refuel during the day, and you needed to eat a heavier breakfast in order to do that. As a result, eggs and bacon sales soared, and they became a new staple combined together as a part of breakfast. We do have a foodie on the show. He is also a brewmaster, and he is from NEPA's Wingmen, and that is Mr. Matt Lynch.
Hello. Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
The website is nepawingmen.com. We go to local areas in Northeast PA and review hot wings. Generally go on a wing night because they're cheaper, although that's becoming less and less common because of the wing shortage. But we've been to over 100 places in Northeast PA. So we've been to quite a few. Check out that website, nepawingmen.com. Tons of reviews. We do podcasts as well. If you want to hear our verbal review of hot wings as well.
Absolutely. That's good of you. You're doing the Lord's work, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
Well, so with that, we're going to get started here. Now, anybody that's familiar with 5 Things is familiar with the rules. We go in a little bit of a circular rotation here. We start with our guest. In this case, it's Matt. topic of discussion is breakfast foods that we just are recommending that you got to try. Matt, you started off. What's your number 5?
My number 5 is buttermilk French toast. One thing I will say with my French toast, I pretty much just slather it with butter, and that's it. This is going to be maybe a little controversial, but I am not a huge fan of maple syrup in general. I know that might be sacrilege to some people for breakfast food, but I'm definitely more of like a savory food type of guy. So that's why I just like the butter on it. I could go with like fresh blueberries on it. I will say within the last year or so, I've started experimenting with maple syrup. I've gotten one at the grocery store. It was like a bourbon aged maple syrup. And I drizzled that like just a couple drops, nothing crazy, just to get the flavor. But maybe it is growing on me a little bit.
Biggest impulse purchase from this summer, I think, was maple syrup. So I understand,
Yeah.
I was at out where I am, there's the West End Fair. And just before the exit, we came across what apparently is a local maple syrup company out of Bear Creek, PA. And they were doing samples. They had everything from like bourbon maple syrup to cinnamon maple. They had a sweet and spicy one, which is awesome if you ever do like chicken and waffles.
Oh yeah,
So
that would be good.
yeah, it was good stuff. I dropped $80 that night on maple syrup.
Yeah, that's a lot of maple syrup.
Well, here's the thing. So it was that they had 9 flavors, and then I was like, "You do any deals?" He's like, "Yeah, you buy 8, you get 1 free." I was like, "You got it." I felt like Kramer from Seinfeld, and then at the end, you're just like, "Ah!" But they're delicious, so I guess I can't be that upset with myself.
I gotta ask, the bread. What kind of bread are you using?
Due to the pandemic, I really got into sourdough bread making. So every once in a while, I'll make like a fresh loaf, and then you want it to get stale a little bit so it absorbs more of the liquid.
Yep. Sausage or bacon, egg, and cheese. Meat is your preference, but on a croissant specifically. And I say that because I cannot tell you how many times doing what I do for a living, you kind of just end up at that line in the morning at the gas stations getting the breakfast sandwich. And you'd be amazed, at least in my area, when people spin their head because you're the only person that doesn't get it on a hard roll, that doesn't just get it on toast. You say, "I'll have it on the croissant." I will spend the extra 75 cents. And oh, by the way, toast it. And this is where it gets tricky for people too. You go out and buy croissants and toast them, and you get good at not burning the edge black because it's very flaky, it's very thin, and that can ruin a sandwich, my friend. I'm telling you right now. Master that, or at least find a place that makes a good one, you're in business.
I do it with the Pillsbury extra large flaky biscuits. Throw those in the oven, cook those up, make get the round sausage patties, throw it all together, and put an egg wash on that biscuit. It is amazing.
Yeah, the sausage, egg, and cheese, that's my go-to pre-road trip, like the start of the road trip meal. I usually go to like a local coffee place and I get it on a bagel. I like it with an everything bagel, but get the sausage, egg, and cheese, and that way you can just hold it while you're driving on the road. You get started on the highway and just chow down on your sausage, egg, and cheese.
That, and I think it's a good excuse to support local. Nothing drives me nuts more than the 5-hour drive, and it's the weekend vacation. We're going to the Poconos, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And where are you going for dinner your first night? Chili's. Well, you have a Chili's in your town. Why did you do that? It's kind of the same thing. Like the people that go through the drive-through at McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts. Go to Pete's. Pete's has great bagels. Go get a sausage, egg, and cheese or whatever from him. Like, just help the guy out, please. You know what I mean? McDonald's has enough.
Buttermilk diner-style pancakes. Particularly Perkins is very good, but other diners too that aren't chains, they have that mastered. I can't figure out how to get it just right, just like they do. But yeah, buttermilk diner style pancakes. Oh my God, that is so good.
Who did you just? I'm sorry I'm going to cut you off, man. This is going to happen a lot, so get used to it. Buckle in.
That's fine.
Who did you just say? Whose pancakes?
Perkins.
I need you to re-record what you just said. That is unbelievable after the rant that I just went on about supporting local, and you're going to turn around and say that your go-to for a good pancake. Not to mention, you mentioned diner pancake, and you said Perkins. I'm blown away. I'm blown away that came out of your mouth.
Well, I'm glad your headphones are working because you did hear that I said diner style. So that means I'm not just saying Perkins in general.
That is not even in this. You can't even. I got not. Oh my God! There's not a Pete's. There's not a Pete's diner or like a roadside something diner or whatever. None.
Yeah, we have those up here, but it's very hard that you get a consistent pancake from different diners that you go to. Not all of them are the same.
I disagree. I think diners got the lock on two things, and that's home fries. And I'm talking about diners. I'm not talking about like Perkins. I'm talking diners. Home fries and pancakes. You can just about, I'm not going to say it's perfect, but just about. I would say a solid 72.5% of diners out there you can go to and pretty much know what you're going to get, what you're expecting if you order pancakes and home fries.
I don't get this very often. When I do see it on the menu, though, I tend to gravitate towards it. Chicken fried steak. You're probably not going to be a fan of this. I used to get this from Denny's because it was always on them. But they had it was either country fried steak or something. I still don't know what they named it. I was so confused. Like, is it chicken? Is it steak? Because what they do is they bread the steak, and I think they fry it in the chicken grease that they used previously. Like, it's cooked on the same stove as the chicken. I don't know how it's made, but it's just when I see it on a menu somewhere, I need to get it. And usually they put the sausage gravy on top of it, which is just great. I love sausage gravy. It's awesome.
That's one that it's twofold. I'm always intimidated by it because I'm like, what if I don't know, and then also my wife apparently has horrible memories of sausage gravy. I know that sounds psychotic, but apparently her father just put that shit on everything and she just hates it. Like, she's like, don't you not, like, I'm never allowed to have it even in the house, like nothing.
Wow.
At all. It's like it's kind of a thing. Like, we're okay. We're seeing counseling, but other than that, it's all fine. All right, my number 4, the best version of this was made at the Pocono Pub in Martinsville, Pennsylvania, because support local, Dave. Brisket Eggs Benedict. Now,
oh wow.
Yes, it is delightful. I would love to make it myself, but honestly, I don't feel like smoking an entire brisket just for breakfast.
Yeah, I've made brisket a couple times. The good thing about brisket, though, is you make so much of it, you're definitely going to have leftovers. So that's a good idea. I usually struggle with what do I make with it now? Usually we'll make tacos later in the week or something like that.
Yeah.
But Eggs Benedict, yeah, that sounds like a good idea next time we make it. I love Eggs Benedict, that hollandaise sauce on top.
Yeah, man.
Look, I'm disappointed in you. You don't have time to make brisket for breakfast?
I don't have the attention span. I can barely bake a loaf of bread. You're going to ask me to fucking do something for 14 hours? It's just not happening.
You said it, you forget it, you come back and check on it every so often. It's not like you're making jerky, Charlie. That's a process.
No, that's not true. I can listen. It's I make it the brisket would be a process. I'm telling you right now, I watch entirely too much YouTube, and all the best brisket makers adjust temperatures every hour and a half and all that kind of crap. And I swear to God, that's what I would do. And I would find that it's ruined if I missed any of those times on my phone, and it would be a mess. So I just, for the benefit, again, it's like, we don't have sausage gravy in my house. Charlie doesn't make brisket.
All right, well, I'm not Mr. Fancy Pants Charlie here, so I'm gonna bring us down several levels from that. Several levels. I'm talking $3, and you're gonna make a decent amount of food off of it, and that is cinnamon roll Belgian waffles. You get the cinnamon rolls, toss them in your Belgian waffle maker, and bam, you got some good eating there.
I've never thought of doing that. I've done tater tots in the waffle press before.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, that's a treat.
But yeah, so you buy the cinnamon rolls already made, or are you buying the Pillsbury ones, or are you making them homemade?
I haven't attempted homemade with those yet. So right now it's just the Pillsbury one.
Interesting. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, that's a new one. That's a good idea.
It's really tasty. They're a decent size too, so they're like fun size, and you get a decent amount out of them, and it's filling.
Yeah, I've never bought a waffle iron because I thought like, first of all, I'm not crazy about waffles, so you won't see that on my list. I'm sorry if you guys have it on your list. But like, I'm like, oh, how often am I gonna make waffles? But I never knew about this other world where you could throw other things on top of there. You know, you could put cinnamon rolls. It sounds like tater tots. That sounds awesome.
Try
I'm a
tater
huge fan
tots,
of
bro.
potatoes.
Yeah,
That
try
sounds
tater tots.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 3, I make this at home a decent amount, and you do find it on a lot of, I would say, fancier like restaurants or diners. Lox. Bagels with the cream cheese, smoked salmon, capers, red onion. Normally, a local place, a national bakery, they make homemade bagels, and I'll get bagels from there. That I'm like, all right, we're gonna make lox this weekend, so we make a special trip to the store just to get the smoked salmon and all that, all the nice toppings on top of it. It's just so good. It's just really enjoyable with the cream cheese. It's just such a good flavor. Everything bagel for me every time.
And I gotta tell you, man, like I don't know why I never get it. It's really fucking good.
Yeah, lots of flavor.
It's really, like it's just got a lot happening. My number 3, and this is we're gonna get a little wild. People get a little intimidated by this, but I assure you, take your time and follow the directions. And I'm telling you right now, scrambled eggs isn't for everybody. I'll be the first to admit it. And they're not even really my first call, but I'm telling you, ever since I made it like this, I will never make it any other way again. It's amazing. And that is the once viral Gordon Ramsay method of making scrambled eggs.
That's how I do it.
It is so good. And you just got to be a little patient. It's not complicated.
So I tend to avoid scrambled eggs. I'm more of like an over easy kind of guy, but I didn't know that was a specific method, but I never tried it. What makes it so good? What makes it so different than like a traditional scrambled egg?
His method, and basically it's kind of the same, just take away the milk and sub in, technically supposed to be creme fraiche, but creme fraiche is just like European sour cream. You definitely use sour cream in its place.
Yeah.
And that kind of adds to the fluffiness of it a little bit. But this is the thing. It's not that it's particularly fluffy. There's just volume. And the trick really is to put it on kind of a medium low heat. And what you do is you constantly with a rubber spatula move the eggs back and forth, and you keep doing it. And then as soon as, you got to really kind of keep an eye on it. As soon as you start seeing the littlest bit of like egg kind of stick to the bottom, you pull it from the heat, literally off the heat, and you keep moving them. As soon as the temperature comes back down again, you put it back on, and you kind of rinse, repeat for, I don't know what, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, depending on whatever. And he's got his way of seasoning it and all that. The other thing is make sure salt and pepper at the end of the method, because if you do it too early, it can gray the eggs.
Nub of butter.
Nub of butter. Seasoning however you want. I do salt, pepper, sometimes a little garlic powder, but that's just me. But, he's got his method, whatever, he's fancy. But that's the biggest thing, in my personal opinion, the biggest thing is definitely the technique that he uses.
Well, I'm bringing it back to French toast at number 3, but cream cheese filled French toast.
Yes.
Now you could throw some fruit in there if you want, bananas or strawberries. It seems intimidating to make, but it actually isn't. So yeah, definitely. Oh my God, cream cheese French toast is amazing.
Yeah, my first time experiencing that, we were ordering lunch at work, and somebody's like, "Oh, you got to get the stuffed French toast," which at that point it was lunch. I'm like, "Yeah, I'll give it a try," and it was awesome.
Yeah. Yep. Had it once, loved it.
My number 2, I would say one of my favorite foods is probably anything like potato based. So like a French fry. Sometimes I'll have like loaded French fries for dinner one night. Even like on the weekend, I'll make home fries, and I do a bunch of different varieties of those home fries. But my favorite variety of home fries is poutine home fries. Where it's got like the beef gravy on it, and then it's got cheese curds. So sometimes one thing I realized is you can make gravy out of anything, as long as it's got fat, some kind of beef or chicken stock, and then a little bit of flour. You make the roux, and then you add the liquid to it. So there was a time I was going a little bit too crazy with that. I made like bacon gravy. It was not good at all. It was from the bacon grease. It was
I've tried
horrible, but just like poutine home fries, the just simple home fries. Usually I put the cheese curds right on top of it while it's still in the pan, and then the beef gravy on top so the cheese curds get stringy. Oh man, that's just so good.
I'll have to try that. I don't know. The last time I looked for cheese curds around where I live, it was very short lived. Like I think I went to like one. I don't know if you can understand this. 1.5 places, which basically means like I went to ShopRite, they didn't have it, and then I walked into Weiss and was like, fuck this. This is the pancakes that I make for my family, and I've never really heard of anyone doing it this way, but I highly recommend it. Again, it's really, really good. You take your preferred pancake mix. Now, I'm going to say that I would recommend not using Bisquick. It's just not really the texture you're going for. Go with they don't call it Aunt Jemima anymore, whatever that is now. I don't remember what it's called. That one, the red box, you know what I'm talking about. So make your recipe and then split it with a box of Jif cornbread mix, and then make your pancakes your texture you prefer. And then when you go and serve them, rather than syrup or maple syrup, which maple syrup is good on this, just so you know, strawberry preserves specifically, warmed up, and then use that instead of syrup. My friends, holy shit. It's something about, I mean, pancakes are just good anyway, but it's something about there's like a grittiness with the cornmeal, and it's a little dry, but then the strawberry preserves are there to like pick it right up. And then you do like, again, the kind of semi-strong, I like a strong cup of coffee, piping hot.
We officially have a real Chetty's hot take.
That's the official Chetty's hot take. So, but yeah, both of you guys, if you ever want to try something a little different, just try that. Just give it a shot. Let me know if you hate it. Hopefully you don't. I don't think you will. I think you'll like it.
Well, that'd be interesting to try. Yeah,
Yeah.
Like I'm a huge fan of pancakes, so like,
yeah,
just try it. Just add. You're saying it's a half mix kind of thing.
I kind of eye it up, to be honest with you, but it's about half and half. Yeah.
Okay.
What's that?
I said, oh, here we go. We eye it up. I was going to say, send over the recipe, and now it's like, oh, I eyeball it.
Well,
three shakes of the box.
Roasted cubed potatoes with scallions and green peppers. Now, I experimented the last time I made it. I did it with orange and red bell peppers, also equally as good, and a little maple bacon rub over the potatoes. Throw it in the oven 25 minutes on 500. Oh my God, it's so good.
We do a very similar, like I said, I tend to use shallots, but other than that, like pretty much dead on. We get that bag of the little mini bell peppers with the 3 different colors. We do it that way. But rather than that rub, I'm addicted to smoked paprika. That tends to go good too. You got to use a little more of it because it kind of, for some reason, I don't know. It's finicky. Like if you use too much, it can dry the shit out. Like it makes you go like that. But if you nail it, it's smoky. That's my way. But that's a good number. That's a good number 2, my friend. All right. So we're at the point in the podcast where we bring up honorable mentions. So far, this list has been pretty good. There's been a little bit of drama because apparently, Dave and I have some differences of opinions. Obviously, it's what the whole show is about. I like to support small mom and pop places, and he loves giant corporate conglomerates. It's not any, we all have our preferences. It's, you decide who's the better human being. So starting from Matt, any honorable mentions you may have, sir?
My honorable mention, it's something I used to eat like every day for work. I used to make it at home, bring it to work, and I'd have it around 9 a.m. or something like that. But it's just super easy, and it was really delicious. It's called a Granana. It's a banana cut in half. You smear some peanut butter on top of it, and you sprinkle a little granola of your choice, and then you drizzle honey over it, and that's pretty much it.
My honorable mentions is more of suggestions, if I can be so bold as to just give suggestions, since I've been sort of doing this recipe style sort of thing. I would recommend anybody that makes any kind of a breakfast sandwich, do yourself a favor and just one time, for the sake of trying it, try throwing a little dab of mayonnaise on a breakfast sandwich at some point. And if you're not into that, I get it. Slice of tomato. Do a slice of tomato on a breakfast sandwich. It's a game changer.
I'm gonna one up your mayo and say
Okay.
mayo and mustard together, and mix those together. Drop them on a sandwich.
I'm gonna one up your mayo mustard combination and tell you that I make my own mayo and there's Dijon mustard in it. What?
Wow.
Damn.
You guys are fancy.
The other honorable mention or suggestion: add avocado to your breakfasts, folks. This is not like a new idea. Avocado has become a very popular food in the last 20 years or so. It's become increasingly popular. I think that we can go one step further, and people tend to overdo it. Avocado, as good as it is also very fatty. It's good fat, but it's still fatty nonetheless. So maybe take a step, especially if you're a vegetarian. Take any of these suggestions, take the meat away, use the avocado instead. So that's my 2 honorable mentions.
I got a few. Going with Belgian waffles. I love those, but you got to eat them when they're piping hot or they get soft. The staple, sunny side up eggs. Man, I love those. Yeah. Apple, cream cheese, crepes. So you get a little apple jam there, preserves, throw the cream cheese, make it in the crepes there, and then a Southwestern omelet.
My number 1. So we did kind of hint at this. I think, Dave, you kind of had it on your list a little bit, and we've been dancing around this topic a little bit, but my go-to food that I love, I'd probably make it buttermilk blueberry pancakes. I love blueberry and pancakes. I don't know why. Like every once in a while, I'll try something else. I'll try strawberry or chocolate chip, or I've even done raspberry before. But just blueberry is so good, and I feel like I'm probably a little outside the box with this. Most people don't do this with their pancakes. So I love dipping blueberry pancakes in dippy eggs or over easy eggs. Oh, it's so good. It's like just so good.
My number 1 is what I'm going to refer to as the All-American. At least once in your life, and I understand there's vegetarians and vegans, and I get all that, but like, do yourself a favor if you can. If you can find yourself able to do it, I understand if you can't. Just have 2 sunny side up eggs, some toast of your choosing with butter, sliced breakfast potatoes. Personally, I prefer diner style. They soak them, they slice them, they're on the griddle, cooked in all that magic that happened throughout the day. Or a good hash brown works too. Preferably 3 to 4 strips of hotel bacon. I guess sausage if you like it, but I'm a bacon guy when it comes to this. And then 12 ounces of your favorite strongish coffee, lightened with half and half and sweetened to taste with sugar. It's just, you don't get more. Just like that, to me, is like the quintessential American breakfast. I can remember being a kid and you get out of church, you go out to breakfast, and that's the Sunday morning New Jersey diner kind of breakfast. Like that's what dad's getting. You know what I mean? Like that kind of a thing. That's the one. If you do anything in your life about with breakfast, or the 3 in the morning, you just got out of the bar, and yeah, maybe you're even at Perkins,
Yeah.
who knows? That's the one you should do at least once. Wasted on freaking all kinds of shit you should have never drank. Dave, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
and yeah, like who doesn't love that? Like it's just, yeah, you don't even have to finish it all. Just you get a little bit of everything. Take that toast, you dip that in your over easies, right? You know what I'm saying? You get that runny egg going. You know what I'm talking about, Matt. You do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, it's good stuff. What I do, I take the egg, I put it in the toast, and as I squish it and the yolk's coming out, I do one of these and I drizzle that yolk all over the potatoes and the bacon and everything.
This is a real thing you do?
Fuck yeah.
Salted caramel, banana cream, shortbread, pancakes.
That is a lot going on. I would try.
Oh my God. And it's a lot going on, and it is so damn good. That's something I make every so often, or I get requested to make if somebody's coming over, or if I'm traveling somewhere and I'm going to be there for breakfast. Like, oh, you got to make this pancake. It's like, you got it.
It sounds delicious. It sounds
it is delicious. I think that's, out of all the pancakes that we've talked about and ones that I at least tried, that is tops for me. That is number 1 pancake out of all the pancakes that I make. And I make a lot of different styles.
Yeah, it seems you seem very passionate about your pancakes.
It's like a hamburger, right? I love hamburgers too, and you can do crazy amount of different things with the hamburger.
One thing I used to do as a kid, kind of in the same vein of pancakes, is I used to get this was sausage link at the time. I think it was like those Johnson ones that are like weird and craggly. They're very odd. They're not like the ones in the casing. You used to fry that up. You get a pancake, and then you roll it in the pancake, kind of like a corn dog.
Similar to what you do, Matt. I seen this somewhere, and used to have these massive meals for football every Sunday, and then I put on like 20 pounds. But for the Sunday morning games, fry up some bacon, make sure they're nice and straight with the strips, and then pour pancake batter on it. And then I wrapped bacon in pancake. Yeah, that's pretty good too.
Yeah, I've seen that before. I've never tried it myself though.
So, all right, folks. Well, that's been our list. This has been a great podcast, personally. Matt, if you got anything you would like to plug, by all means, please. You got center stage right now. Go for it, my friend.
I mentioned before, NEPAwingmen.com. We go around local NEPA restaurants. And we've only done a couple chains, so not too many. I would say 98% local places, bars, restaurants where we just review hot wings. We have podcasts, we have written reviews on the website. We have it curated on the site. So we have you could sort it by rating. You could choose a day of the week. So if you want to go find places that are only on Wednesday, you could do it that way as well. Yeah, there's a bunch of different sorting methods. So yeah, check it out, NEPAwingmen.com.
All right. Well, folks, that's been the list. Make sure you like, share, subscribe down at the bottom, comment below, give us your list. I would really love to hear. We would love to hear you try these recipes. Expand your horizons a little bit, broaden them. If you've never had one of these things, go out on a limb one time. Go out for breakfast. Bring your honey. Bring your boyfriend. Whatever you got to do. Bring your ma. Bring ma out to breakfast one day. She'll appreciate it. And maybe get a what is it, Southwest omelet? Is that what you called it there, Dave? Yeah, go out of your comfort zone a little bit. Try some stuff. And then some of these other things that you can't necessarily get at a restaurant, try making them. Maybe you'll learn something. For 5 things, I've been Chetty.
This is Dave, and I have dinner waiting for me, but I may go make breakfast.
And I'm Matt, and thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank
Bye.
you. See you.